friends, I'm Rachna and I'm back with a new lesson. Well, today's lesson is all about the difference between small and little. Now the other day when I went to class, I asked a few students, is there a difference between small and little, or they both mean the same, or they can be used interchangeably? So a few of them told me that there is a small difference between small and little, and some told me there is a little difference between small and little. Well, in today's lesson we are going to learn how to use small and little correctly. Alright, so let's start. Now I have an example here. John is small for his age. So when I say John is small for his age, that means he's short. He's not taken up too much height as per his age. Alright, so here we use small to indicate when you talk about height or size of a person. Well, sometimes we also say I wear a small size shirt, right? You have small, medium, large and XL. So you always say small size. You do not say a little size. So you say small size. Many times we talk about really short people or petite people being as small built. So we talk about their size or their height. Alright. Now let's take a look at little. Mary is a little girl. Well, now if I say Mary is a small girl, that would again mean she's short, not too tall for her age. But when I say Mary is a little girl, here I mean she's young. Alright, I'm sure you remember that poem or the nursery rhyme we learnt in school, Mary had a little lamb. So that means a young lamb. So when we use little, we mean the person is young. Alright, I'm sure this is clear to you. Let's move on. I have a small amount of money. Now here, money is an uncountable noun. We cannot count money. I cannot say I have 5 money, 6 money. Can I? No. We need a medium. In this case, it's a currency. So I have $5 or I have 10 pounds. So it needs a medium to be measured. So money is uncountable. So the important thing to remember here is when you talk about uncountable nouns using small, always use small amount for the uncountable nouns, right? I cannot say I have a small money. Would it make sense? No. So always say I have a small amount of money. Alright. Now here I can replace it by saying I have a little money. So again, money is uncountable. Remember, little is always used with uncountable nouns. Alright, so I have a little money. Here you needn't use I have a little amount of money. Just say I have a little money and that's fine. Remember, small amount for uncountable nouns and a little for uncountable nouns. Alright. The next sentence, a small number of people came to work. Now people is the noun here. Countable, right? You can say 5 people, 10 people. So it is a countable noun. So you always say a small number. Use number for countable nouns. You cannot say a small people came to work. So you always say a small number of people came to work. Remember, small number for countable nouns. Now in the example here, I had little trouble with my car. Can you count trouble? 5 trouble, 6 trouble? No, it's uncountable. So here we need to remember, little is always used for uncountable nouns, never for countable nouns. Alright? Mary is smaller than Kimberly. Alright? Now here we are using small in its comparative form. Can I say Mary is littler than Kimberly? No. Little has no comparative or superlative form. So we say Mary is smaller than Kimberly. Alright. In the next sentence, Mary is the smallest in the class. Now this is the comparative and this is the superlative. So again, I cannot say Mary is the littlest in the class because little has no comparative or superlative forms. So small can be used in its comparative and superlative form as and when required. Alright, now let's take a look at little. I'm a little fat. Now fat is an adjective, right? That means that I'm not thin. So I'm a little fat. So that means not too much, but just a bit. Okay. Fat is an adjective. Little is modifying fat. Okay. So if I'm not very fat, I'm little fat. Alright. So just a bit. So here it is modifying. In my next example, he is a little tired. Now tired again is an adjective that describes someone of not being fresh. So I'm a little tired. Can I say he is a small tired? No, we say a little tired. So here we are using little to modify an adjective. Alright friends, so these are the different uses of small and little. This brings me to the end of this lesson. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Even if you have a little trouble understanding the difference between the two, please do put in your comments and queries if any. I'll be back soon with a new lesson. Till then, take care and bye.